There's this testimony now where one of your son's former business associates is claiming that you were on speakerphone a lot with them talking business. Is that what?
I never talk business with anybody. And I knew you'd have a lousy question.
Well, why is that a lousy question?
Because it's not true.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Welcome back. I believe you've seen this. Peter Doocy is back. He is the only person that can stand up to ask brilliant questions, what a lot of people have been expecting to hear. For some time, he has been off air, and we have not been getting this kind of questions. Joe finally clears the air and refused. He never had any business deal with the Sun. This is just coming after Ted Cruz went off on Karine after trying to use the same talking point. I don't know if you saw that segment.
We're asked about the president's previous remarks on his son's business dealings, but the language has in fact changed. So I just want to clear this up once and for all. The president has previously said that he has never discussed overseas business dealings with his son, but the White House now says that the president has never been in business with his son. So why the updated language? Which statement is true? Or is this semantics and they're both true?
As I stated on Monday, when I was asked this question multiple times, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed on this. Nothing has changed on this. And so could ask me a million different ways on this question. Nothing has changed.
Here with reaction, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Senator, thanks for being with us. Now, I am not a Harvard Law School graduate like you are, but I think there is a great distinction between I never spoke to my son about his foreign business dealings, and now that we have all the evidence available to prove to the contrary that, in fact, he did, now they've changed it to, well, he never went into business with his son. I would say that is a huge difference, and not even you couldn't even describe it as parsing words here.
Yeah. Look, I got to say, Sean, I want to play poker with Karine Jean-Pierre because she is a terrible, terrible liar. And she's got to tell, you know, sometimes at a poker table, someone will twist a ring or they'll pull their ear or they'll do something when they're bluffing. Karine Jean-Pierre, her tell is she'll tell you, I'm going to tell you the exact same thing I've told you 1,000 times before. You know the next words out of her mouth are going to be totally different from anything she's ever said before.
You know,
so,
yeah. Well, let me get your reaction to what happened in court today. And yeah. I don't know if you share my suspicion. There's no way in my mind that...
That is not the first time this is happening. Karine has always been like this. When a question surfaces, it's like they have a script, you know, that they all follow. If you take a look at Joe, the way he responded, partaking to this, is just in line on how Karine always take to questions. Sometimes always running away from it. Now Joe is telling us he never had any business deal with his son. After bombshell informations have surfaced, testimonies partaking to this, you recently saw this interview with Tucker Carlson where a lot of informations were revealed and still yet they are not accepting. I read through an article today where Mitch McConnell is actually advocating that Republicans should not stand to impeach Biden, which was insane to me. Mitch McConnell is actually a Democrat in disguise as a Republican. When they wanted to impeach Trump, Mitch McConnell did nothing, you know, to advocate. People should not stand up for that. But now, he is saying this clearly that they should not impeach Biden. After these thorough investigations and bombshell informations we have, it is to clearly tell you one thing here. It is high time Republicans realize what is going on. This man should be retired by now.
Been approved, but what happened is several weeks passed, and in the several weeks passed, more and more evidence came out. The FD 1023 from the FBI came out. the two IRS whistleblowers testified before the House of Representatives, accusing the Attorney General Merrick Garland of lying under oath, accusing the Attorney General of obstruction of justice in this case. And suddenly, the Delaware U.S. Attorney's Office in the court realized they couldn't stand up in court and say, oh, no, we're not going to investigate any of this new evidence that's all come roaring out. That became impossible to say. So they said, well, yeah, of course we're going to investigate that. And suddenly Hunter's lawyers said, we're out of here, and the whole thing blew up. I'm glad it blew up. This deal stunk from day one, and it was about covering up Hunter and, more importantly, covering up Joe Biden's involvement in the corruption.
Senator, based on what we know now, we have Joe Biden on tape admitting that he leveraged $1 billion taxpayer dollars to get a prosecutor in Ukraine fired. The prosecutor had been investigating Burisma, that was paying his son Hunter a massive amount of money, even though the son went on Good Morning America, admitted he had no experience at all. Based on what we read with the WhatsApp messages, I'm sitting here with my father, and then, well, lo and behold, a Chinese oil exec sends over $5 million to the Bidens within a week. How would you describe it? I would say this is the Biden bribery scandal allegations. And if you're a prosecuting attorney, how strong a case are you looking at by what we know right now?
So we have now the FD 1023. I have it in my hand. It's the FBI report that was prepared in 2020 when a confidential human source raised allegations that Joe Biden, as vice president, personally received bribes, $5 million personally himself, his son $5 million, from a Ukrainian oligarch in exchange for official favors when he was vice president of the United States.
With all these informations they have, it is enough, to impeach Joe. I've seen some Democrat coming to say they don't have enough evidence to do that. They want to see the evidence. With all these witnesses, whistleblowers, coming out to testify with actual proof, because I don't believe somebody will bear that risk to come and lie on that oath. It is difficult to actually do that. So with this information, let's use that diligently. Thank you guys for always being there. I realize a lot of people are actually sharing out my clips lately. I don't know you, but if you are doing that, God bless you abundantly. Continue to support the channel as we try every single day to expose the truth, because we all understand the mainstream media cannot bring some of the videos I put out here.
Life is so short.